Hey guys, thanks for checking into this 10-minute walk talk, the accessory to your 10-minute walk. By the time this episode is over, so is your 10-minute walk. You're probably wondering who the hell's talking into the microphone right now. It's Andrew, the producer of the show, and I'm pretty excited because we have the biggest guest we've ever had. Literally the biggest guest. No one can, argue that. Mark sent me out to Colorado to take some pictures of the world's strongest man, Brian Shaw. Brian, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Right on, dude. So I don't want to bring up any negative memories or bring up the past, but your trainer, Andy, told me something pretty spectacular, and I thought it was awesome, and I wanted everyone else to know about it. You got hurt during Worlds in Africa, right?
Yeah, I tore my hamstring on the deadlift. It was the second to last event of the contest.
And from what I understand, the PA announcer, he found out that you were hurt. And what happened after that?
So when I actually got hurt, I just kind of went down to my knees because I knew it was pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And I stood up and from a strategy standpoint, I was still technically in the competition. The deadlift, they were going to go up, so I didn't want to tell anybody or show weakness in that moment. I wanted to stay in the competition and see what the next weight they were going to call was, whatever. And, they called the next weight, went up. And then at that point, I just let them know I wasn't going to lift again. I didn't say I was hurt. I just said, hey, I'm not going to take the next lift, and bowed out of the competition at that point. I headed back for the medical tent. I went to the one physio there, who I am closest with. I've known for years there. And I said, look, man, tore my hamstring up. I want you to get the hottest cream that you possibly can. And I want you to rub it on there. And then I want you to wrap it as tight as you can. And I said, I'm going to figure out how to go do stones. And he said, okay. Cause he knew I was serious about it. But, I didn't want any of the other guys to know in that moment how bad that was, because technically I was still in the contest. I was still in the running to win. And I've kind of had instilled in me that you don't show weakness. You don't give up. You don't quit. So those are all things that in that moment I was like, look, I don't really care how bad this is. I'm not quitting. I'm just going to, like I said, just wrap it up, go and compete and try my best to win still. So that's what I did. But, it's more from, I had a college coach. This kind of sums it up. He said to us, look, if you're hurt, you either get up and walk off on your own or you get carried off. Right. And so that, to me, that is exactly what it is. I could still technically take another step. So I got up, I walked off, as well as I could at that moment and carried on.
Dude, that's fantastic. So out here, if you guys remember, it was just before Worlds last year. We filmed an entire day of Brian eating. It was 12,000 calories, right?
So, something close to that. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. So basically, we're kind of out here doing something similar, a little bit different this year, but it's because your diet's different. What differences are in there now, and like how much better does that make you feel, or does it? I mean, obviously it's going to make you feel better, but basically, how different is your diet this time around?
After that contest at World's Strongest Man, I kind of came back and I always analyze how things went, and I wasn't happy with how I kind of peaked for that contest. I wasn't very happy with my body. I wasn't happy with overall how I performed. And, I had some different tests done, and I kind of discovered that essentially my gut health was not in a good place, and I wasn't digesting the foods that I was eating very well at all. And so that's what prompted me really to make a change there. And I performed well over the years, but I'm always looking to get better. If I can get better, I'm going to change something up. And so that's what I did. And, I've known Stan Efforting for a number of years now. And, he's very straightforward, very simple with his approach to the diet. And it's a lot of easy to digest foods, and you just eat a lot of them. Really, it's what his term is a horizontal diet would be more of like a dirty kind of bulk. You basically eat whatever you see, and just try to get as many calories down as you can. And more of a vertical approach is what we're doing. It's very similar foods again and again and again, but it's easy to digest. And overall, I think, I've been working with him now basically since December coming into this Arnold. This will be the first contest we've done together. And overall, I feel great. I've in a way transformed my body. But my strength is still great. I feel like my stamina overall is great. I feel like, everything is clicking right now. It has not been easy. I've been very dedicated. I mean, I've been, I think I've taken 6 different airplane trips already in 2018 here, and every single one of them, I've got every meal packed up, ready to go. Everything's planned out in advance. So I've not skipped a beat. I've not missed any meals. And ate something instead of what I should have eaten, so I've always had what I needed. And overall, like I said, I feel really good. The proof is in the contest performance for me, but feeling healthier, feeling better. Even though I'm basically just as heavy as I was, I actually feel lighter. I feel, overall, I'm not carrying that same amount of weight, even though I am.
Yeah. So body's on point, diet's on point. I mean, I went with you an hour drive to pick up a certain cranberry juice.
Sure.
That was crazy. So I've been watching you train for the past couple of days. Your training seems to be quite on point as well. How do you feel going into the Arnold?
Right now, I feel good. To sum it up, I feel good. I think with training for something so big in the sport of strongman, the top level contest, you always have a couple hurdles. You always have a couple things that get a little banged up. Like, this training cycle, I've had my left forearm's kind of been aggravated. I kind of strained something in there early on, and I've kind of been, been a little bit of a nagging injury that I've been getting some treatment on. I've had some, other issues that are kind of ongoing, that you have to train around. So not every training session did I push. Sometimes I've got to back off, take my foot off the gas a little bit, things like that. But I've been through this. It's not my first rodeo, and that stuff has come up before. And I know that if I just trust the process, I'm confident in myself. I know that coming into the contest, I'm going to be able to perform when it matters. And, I've got all the treatment. I've got everything I've needed to do covered, and now it's coming together. Like at the end, it's like everything is clicking the way that I wanted it to click at this point. So I can't really ask for much more out of my training. I mean, I'm in a good spot mentally. I think I'm in a good spot physically, and I'm very confident in my abilities. And you can't, me saying that is a big thing, because I'm normally, I don't necessarily say that as much. I kind of back off, and especially if I'm not confident, I'm not going to blow smoke and say that I'm very confident and I'm going to be great or whatever. I think that, going to the contest, I won last year by maybe the biggest points margin. Essentially, I didn't have to do the last event last year in the Arnold, and in a 5-event contest with 10 competitors, that's ridiculous. So, I'm coming off that type of win, so I'm coming back to defend my title there, and I want to put an exclamation point on it even more. But I'll take it an event at a time, and as long as I bring what I've trained for to the stage, that's all that really matters. I mean, I need to beat myself. I need to beat myself from 2017. That's what I have to do, and if I do that, I'm going to be pretty hard to beat.
That's awesome. Brian, thanks for your time. Thanks for the hospitality over this past couple of days.
100%.
And dude, I'll see you at the Arnold, buddy.
I love it. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening.